I think near term we are going to see some calming influences in the sense that Trump wants to end wars, and he's prepared to use a significant amount of U.S. political pressure and military pressure to get those outcomes. There's no question in my mind that a ceasefire with Hezbollah was related to the election. In part, it was delayed because the Israeli prime minister didn't want to give Biden-Harris a win. In part, it came quickly because they recognized that continuing to fight that war when Trump is in power is something that they were going to feel pressure over, and they wanted to avoid it.
How will shuttle diplomacy of Secretary Rubio be different than Secretary Blinken?
It'll be less frequent. Rubio's top priority from an experience perspective, and also in terms of the lane that he gets to occupy by himself, will be Latin America. It'll be Cuba. It'll be Venezuela. It'll be Mexico. More broadly, the region. I think he'll be credible there. And by the way, I think he'll probably also appoint bipartisan congressional delegations, Senate delegations, and send them to some of these countries and others, which is something that hadn't gone as quickly as I would have liked under Biden. But on the Middle East, we're following what has been the most pro-Israel government in the world, the Biden administration, with what will be an even more pro-Israel government under Trump, by far the most pro-Israel government in U.S. history. And that clearly is going to have an impact on Israeli settlements and annexation in the West Bank. It'll have an impact on the future of Gaza, and it will continue to put a hell of a lot of pressure on Iran. So I wouldn't look to Rubio to be the person that's going to lead that diplomatically, if simply because Trump's best relations in the world, and you'll remember, Tom, the first trip he took as president in 2017 was to Saudi Arabia and then to Israel, very unusually for a U.S. president. Wouldn't surprise me at all if the first trip he makes this time around is also to the Middle East.
So, Ian, does this ceasefire agreement with Hezbollah, does that bode well for potential ceasefire with Hamas? What are the relations, if any?
I don't think it matters much. I mean, it certainly puts Hamas under even more pressure, but it's hard to put Hamas under more pressure than they're already on. I mean, the Israeli prime minister said yesterday, well, now they know they're not going to get any support from Hezbollah. Support from Hezbollah hasn't stopped Hamas's tunnels from all getting blown up, their arms caches from getting blown up, their leaders from getting blown up, their fighters from getting blown up. I mean, frankly, the Israelis are running out of targets in Gaza at this point. So, I mean, the war has been winding down. The only reason it's not over is because there are still hostages that are being held by Hamas. And of course, we don't know how many of them are still left alive. But I mean, it's not like you have far fewer people getting killed in Gaza today than were 6 months ago, 9 months ago. And the reason for that is because there's just not that much more for Israel to hit that is a productive Hamas target. So I think I don't think it does matter all that much. I think where the Hezbollah ceasefire matters is it's clearly welcome for Iran, because it is a ceasefire that does not aim to end Hezbollah's capabilities. Israel is basically saying that they are not prepared to blow up every single Hezbollah member, to end their military capabilities. And of course, this is Iran's top proxy in the world, and it's their principal deterrent against Israel. Well, Israel's prepared to allow them to continue to exist despite their military escalation dominance. So that's where I think it matters. Gaza, not so much.